Watchin It podcast. On today's show, Robert says, all hell fix it. Donnell joins the mob. And on Agatha, gotta pour one out for a real one, Robert.
That's right.
You gotta
That's
pour
right.
one out for a real one.
Poor Miss Hart.
I'm your host, Donnell. With me as always is Robert. All right, let's just jump into this episode, Robert.
Yep. Season 1, episode 4. Oh,
It's-
man, it's got a long title.
If I can reach you, let my song teach you.
Yeah.
Yeah, these titles are a little much. They're always two parts. I'm just like, I
There's a
get
slash in there.
there's supposed to be like some lyrics and all that, but I'm like, I don't know. Just like the name of the show, I'm like, maybe we could just trim this up a little bit, folks. Like I put in.
I mean, but it works, though, because they must have, like, because, I mean, each episode, the title, like, matches up with what's going on in the episode.
100%.
And it's all part of the song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, I think they did a good job with how they kind of work the theme of that and put it into the song. And that's the whole Witches Road parts and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, somebody put some work into that.
I mean, they put some work. I'm just saying, when we got to announce it at the beginning of these episodes, it's a lot it's a mouthful to get out there. Make our job easier. But yeah, this episode picks up right where we left off. Sadly, that's with Sharon being dead.
Her name is Hart. Okay.
Oh, it's Sharon.
Sharon Hart. Mrs. Hart.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I kind of said, like, even though I hated saying it, I was like, I think she's actually dead because it opened the door for what did happen.
Yep.
Which is Rio being the Green Witch. I do kind of wish Sharon was still alive and Rio wasn't. I mean, not just because I was just like, since each trial deals with each witch's specific, expertise, I'm like, really would have liked to see how Sharon handles when we get to the Green Witch
Well,
trial.
I mean, maybe hers would have been like towards the end, and they would have been teaching her witchy ways as things progress.
As they go. Yeah. See, I mean, she did say in that last episode that she was like, I'm not sure if I'm all about getting on the witch thing, but so,
I mean, she was a good balancing comedic element to the whole thing. Like fish out of water situation. For sure.
I don't know how I feel about her being buried. I mean, I don't know how you get the body back, but I kind of feel like, I don't know, she should be buried on the Witch's Road. I mean, this woman probably has family of some sort out there.
I mean, her husband's dead.
Her husband's dead, but kids, nieces, nephews, brothers, sisters, and she's just going to just disappear off the face of the earth. Which I guess, once again, that's looking at it from our reality, but in the MCU reality, that's not actually that
this
big
town
of a thing.
too, specifically.
So honestly, I guess if you're her brother and you're like, hey, you hear from Sharon, like, no, it's like, uh-oh, think that town got sucked up again. Yeah, I think you're probably just more accepting of people just disappearing. Sadly, in the MCU universe, you're probably just more accepting, like, oh, someone just disappeared. Like, it happens, man.
So they're an incomplete coven. There's a bunch of infighting about Hart being dead or Sharon being dead.
Yeah.
And they decide to summon a backup Green Witch.
So before they do the summoning, like you said, there's this infighting, and they make one thing clear. I mean, Agatha isn't part of this, but the rest of the witches make one thing clear, that they don't, like, you can't go on without a full coven.
Yeah.
Even though Agatha's saying they can, that you can't go on without a full coven. They make that clear. And then the next thing, when Agatha's like, well, then I guess we'll have to summon another Green Witch. Like, I think it's now I can't remember the protection witch's name. Like, Alice. There we go.
Yeah.
I think it's Alice who's like, well, we can't do a summoning. I'm like, well, how else are you gonna get a witch? You're already on the witch's road. Like, when she was one of those who's like, we can't go on without a Green Witch. And then Agatha's like, let's summon a Green Witch. She's like, well, we can't be summoning. I'm just like, well, then what's the game? We gonna live on the road? That's the plan. We just living on the road now. Like, if you're not, like, I was wondering how they get a witch in until Agatha says you can summon. Like, well, if you can summon, that sounds like the only viable option.
Yeah.
And Alice is like, no. And I'm just like, what?
So do you think that Agatha really completed the Witch's Road?
I don't think so.
I feel like she keeps every time they ask her, she kind of has this look like, I don't know, like, but then bullshit.
Or if she did, she somehow cheated her way through. Because one thing that's kind of said when they ask her a little bit later, which this could just be her playing into the character that she's known as, is how many people left the Witch's Road when you did it? And she says one, being her.
Oh, I thought she said two.
No, she just holds up one finger.
Oh, okay.
And
no, I thought she said one other person.
Maybe she was saying one other. I don't know. I don't think I'll have to go back and see on that. But either way, I'm just like, why? Like, she's only one made it out, and I'm just like, either A, she's lying, just like she didn't do the
Yeah.
witch's road at all, or B, like the reason why only one made it out because, like I said, I think she more than just as I've already hinted at that she was gonna kill all the other witches anyways, or she's a witch killer. More than just that, like I think she used nefarious means, and
Yeah,
she
like,
did,
stole their power in
yeah,
order to complete the
and
task,
was
yeah.
able to somehow skip by the trials because like she also
Well,
seems
no, she
very,
can complete the trial. I mean, I'm assuming the trials are different for this
yeah,
coven than they would have been for her if she did actually do it, but she can s we it's been established that she can steal other witches'
yeah.
power, so she might have just stole their power to complete each
But
trial.
no, I'm thinking back to the first trial, when they're in the house and they have to complete the trial, and, like, she's very adamant about not completing it and trying to escape, and so that's
Mm.
why I think she didn't do the trials the first time either, is that she seems very much like, "No, no, well, I can get around these," and if she had done it the first time and done the trials, she would know, like, "No, there's no escaping the trials, I gotta do them."
Or maybe she did do it, and that's why she wouldn't drink the wine because she knew it would be poison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
yeah.
But no, from what I'm getting from her in the show, which like I said, it could all be an act, who knows? But from what I'm getting from her in the show is she never did the
Yeah,
witches
we'll
road.
we'll see, but I'm feeling that. I would not
Yeah.
be surprised if that's what it turns out to be.
Hmm.
So they do summon the backup Green
Yep.
Witch. It is Rio Vidal, played
Thought for
by
one
Aubrey
second
Plaza.
though, when everybody was looking and it's coming up out of the grave, I thought we were going to get a zombie Mrs.
That
Hart
would be
for the rest. And I
fantastic.
was like, I was upset you killed her, but if you bring back zombie, I'm like, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So, no offense. I mean, I did say I'm not a big fan of Audrey Plaza. I will say she's actually acting in this show, and
I mean, is
it's
she?
working.
I feel very much like they just said, "Okay, Aubrey." Is it Audrey or Aubrey?
Audrey.
Audrey.
Yeah.
I like I'll just say Plaza.
Yeah.
Like the director's just like, "I'm just gonna get out of the way and let you do your thing."
Yeah, but see, I guess my thing is in all her other roles that I've mainly seen her in, everything is just dry and deadpan. And so even if she
Yeah,
is just being herself, she's at least showing actual emotions, which makes her character
yeah.
seem more and stuff. And so like I said, she did in this episode, actually, she did really well. But still, I mean,
She's done a lot of physical acting in this role.
yeah.
Yeah, like that like the head, like, cracking and stuff like that, and, like, the movements of going coming out of the
Hmm.
grave, and the fight scene and stuff like that. Yeah, very physical role that
Yeah.
I'm not used to seeing her in. I really like the scene when she, like, goes all dark and she's like, "The Green Witch."
Yeah.
Like,
And
I
that
watched
demon
that a
voice
bunch of
comes
times,
in.
yeah.
And I'm not, if you watch it with subtitles, it says demon voice. So I'm
Interesting.
starting to wonder about her. I mean, especially with some stuff she says later when she talks about her scar and stuff. Because we've talked about Mephisto.
'Kay.
I'm wondering if I don't think she is Mephisto, but I'm wondering if she's like the daughter, because she also doesn't seem to be just a witch.
Mm.
And so I'm wondering if she's like the daughter of Mephisto, or if she's like half demon or a demon
They're
herself.
never gonna let
The
us have Mephisto Donnell.
the way I'm just saying, like I said, they might not give us him, but maybe they give us his daughter. I'm just saying because the way that she goes, like it says, she's the Green Witch, and her voice changes and all that stuff, is like something's going on there. And so like I'm wondering, like I said, if she's more than a witch, like if
Yeah.
she's if she's something else.
But, a new house appears.
Yep.
This is Alice's house.
Yep.
I love the moon doors.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cool.
Alice once again, and this one is a little bit more understanding just because it's past trauma, but still, Alice once again is like, nope, not going in there. And I'm like, then what are you gonna do? You
Yeah.
were also, like I said, Alice just makes a lot of contradicting statements because she was also the one who says we can't go back, so she knows we can't go back. And then when the house appears, she's like, not going in there. It's like, then what? So we living on the road, like every both times. It's like, so your game plan, we go stay here on the road, this creepy, messed up place
Yeah.
where who knows what's gonna happen to you. Um.
Yeah, so it's all '60s theme.
Yep.
It's basically centered around her mother, who was like
Yep.
a rock star or something
Yeah.
in the '60s,
Yeah.
and she was trying to get to the Witch's Road by creating songs to get her fans to sing along
Yeah.
at
And her
concerts.
fans, she says her fans were her coven, and I'm like, that would, because like I said, I mean, if your coven comes with you, one is, do your fans know you're a witch and that they're your coven, or are they just gonna be on the witch's road, be like, what the hell's going on? But then also I was like, that's a lot of people to take tramping through on this road. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess that gives you a lot of cannon fodder.
Dude, a lot of them would be tripping and stuff, like,
Oh,
it would be
yeah, I mean, this is yeah, I mean, there's definitely people at our concert on shrooms and all sorts of stuff that when they get on the road, they're gonna be, "Whoa,
Yeah.
this trip, man."
That would be an interesting, like, character concept that, like, a rock star, like a singer that was a sorcerer or something, and getting the fans to sing along to cast massive spells.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's an interesting concept. Um, so we get another. and I'm just wondering, I'm assuming later in, like, the probably last 2 episodes something that's gonna come to head, we get another little weird thing from, Lilia with, Alice, where she just out of nowhere is like, "Alice, don't do it," and then I was like, "Don't do what?" And I'm just like, these are all, like I feel like this is something that later episode, like, probably near the climax where all this is gonna come together because I just feel like she has clairvoyance, as I've already said, and
Mhm,
she keeps
mhm,
dropping
yeah,
hints to the different coven members where I feel like, this is gonna come to head eventually,
yeah,
but yeah, we get another one of those. It's very interesting.
yeah. But they get in and there's a record playing backwards that's casting a spell.
Well, the teen puts it on.
Yeah,
But before that, I wanna talk about Agatha and Rio. They have a little session
mhm,
in the recording booth, or I guess actually no, they're not. They're outside the recording booth. They're in the room, where you listen to recording or whatever. But anyways, and this is another reason
the
why
engineer booth.
I'm yeah,
Yeah,
engineer booth, where I'm wondering if Rio is a demon. Is she says she's like, "Yeah, like the magic takes the path of least resistance. I was the closest, so it summoned me down." Or then she goes, "Or maybe up." And
mm,
I'm like, "Up?" As in, like, you know
from hell.
yeah.
Yeah,
She brings up because 'cause I'm like, "Why would the road be up unless you're deeper than, like, we went down to get on the road?" So she says that, but then also we get this, interesting thing where, Agatha flips on the microphone,
mhm,
engineering booth, and they start having, like we gotta get a little bit of their past.
yeah,
Like, that one is they definitely have some sort of bond relationship. It seems near the end, they were lovers at one
yeah,
point. But it's interesting because one thing is, like, so going over the plan, and she's like, "So then what happened?" And Rio says, "Well, then you kill all the other witches," which is making it very clear why.
yeah,
Most witches do not like
yeah.
Agatha and don't trust her because apparently she's a witch killer. And then Rio says, "And I get my bodies," which is another thing where I'm like,
That's
maybe she's a
interesting,
demon.
yeah.
I really think that, like, I'm
Like, is
like,
she gonna eat them, or is she gonna
mhm,
possess them, or
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
what happens there? Are
And
they
then
sacrifices to,
yeah.
the Mephisto or something?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Like, yeah, there's definitely something more with Rio that we'll get to find out. But, then, of course, Agatha tries to make, "Oh, that's my coven. I can't believe you'd say that," which nobody believes. But, yeah, and so they play the record backwards, which curses everybody with the curse that Alice already has, apparently,
Yeah.
that her mom was trying to protect her from. And this curse for witches, because I want to make this distinction because I'm not sure if either A, the teen isn't actually being affected by the curse, and if something else is happening to him, or if the teen, because he's not a witch, it affects him differently. Because for the curse for witches is they start to it seems to spontaneous combust or burn from the inside out.
Yeah.
But not the teen. The teen, his 2 times he gets attacked by the curse, if it is that, is first he gets physically thrown across the room, and then the second time, which is a little bit later, glass comes gets punctured through his stomach. And so I'm like, the witch is very clearly, and all of them, and another one that's
Well,
also
yeah, I think he's trying to become a witch. That's the
yeah,
whole thing.
and I'm just saying I think the curse affects him differently because he's not a witch.
Yeah.
And then also, this is just another one of my theories of why Rio is not a witch and she's something more, is all the witches, including Agatha, at one point get attacked by the curse. Rio never does. And I'm
Interesting.
just like, "Rio's not a witch." Like, I don't know what she is, but all this, like I said, they just keep drop all the hints, at least to me. I feel like she ain't a witch. There's
Yeah.
something more to her.
Interesting.
But yeah, so the curse starts with Jen. She catches on fire. And Alice quickly draws a protection circle around her. And I just like that there's this pause and everyone's just talking. I was like, "Excuse me, get to drawing circles." Like, I'm
Yeah.
like the fact that they don't just immediately draw circles on everybody. I'm like,
Yeah.
draw some circles."
By the
Like,
way, that seems very easy. Just
yeah.
draw a circle around you
Well,
and you're good.
you also gotta know the spell
Oh,
because
true.
he
I
is
guess.
chanting a spell. But I do feel like, does that mean any witch who knows the spell? Do you have to be a protection witch, or can you just,
Yeah, that's a good
be any
question.
witch as long as you know the spell and make
Hmm.
a circle?
I
Um,
mean, I would assume that they're channeling some kind of power or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But they have to defeat the curse
yeah,
through the power of song.
yes,
Has to play one of her mom's songs with feeling
yes.
and get it done. It was fine.
So I
I mean, I didn't
wanna
care for the song all that much,
no.
but it was,
I
it was
wanna I
done
wanna
well.
I wanna I wanna I wanna sidebar here because this is my thing. One thing they say is that her mom's song is different from the original Rich's Road song, and so it had a
Mhm.
different purpose, and the purpose turned out to be it's to protect Alice.
Yeah.
And like her, like it seems like her mom's whole thing of becoming a big music star and getting a huge fan base and making her song her hit is to make it so this song is because Jenny even says, "Yeah, someone somewhere is always playing this song."
Mm.
And so it's basically like the song's always playing, so it protects Alice because it's always, playing and protecting her for the curse. But my thought was this, I'm like, "How though?" Because my thing is like, she's was a huge music star, but like I went to, even though I'm not a big fan of this person, I do know she's probably the biggest artist in the world right now. I went to Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And I'm like, Taylor Swift, probably the biggest artist in the world. But there's people like me, and I'm assuming you
I
have
cannot name
can't
a
name one of her
single album,
albums.
song. I don't know if
Yeah.
I would recognize if I heard one.
Exactly. So and I would assume, even though she's the biggest artist, I'm assuming there's still probably more people like me and you than there are fans of hers. I mean, she has a lot of fans, and
Yeah.
I'm not
A lot
disparaging
of
that,
Swifties out
but
there.
I'm just saying, just by the population of the world and where people are in their lives and where they live in the world, like I'm pretty like if you're living in the middle of jungle of Africa, you probably ain't banging the Taylor Swift that often and stuff. And so like by percentage, there's more people who don't know Taylor Swift songs than there are who do.
Yeah.
Is that and then the other thing is, in order for her to get this big, I looked it up, she has 11 albums.
Yeah.
So, if she has a hit song on each of those albums, even if you're a huge Swiftie fan, one is there's people who are all, "I'm all about the backlog. I like her not
Early work.
popular
Yeah, yeah,
stuff."
yeah.
And then there's
And by the way,
also
this also was her unpopular stuff because they talked about how not Taylor,
yeah,
but the fictional rock star in the
yeah,
Agatha show.
the mom.
Her career like went downhill because she went this route.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of doing the witchy music.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, like and it's still but even if all of her albums have one hit, which they probably have more, but one hit, that's 11 songs that her fan base is, can sort through. Plus, like I said with this mom, it's definitely not it was her later work, but also it's older stuff by like what we said 1960s or whatever. So it's like, yeah, there's plenty of artists from the 1960s that people are still listening to, but could you confidently say that they're listening to that song enough in the world where it's always playing? Because I feel like no, because even Taylor Swift, I don't think so. And the other thing is like the only also like I said with Taylor Swift, see if each of her albums has 11 hit songs, or each has one hit song, that's 11 songs to pick from. Even her biggest fans, if they're always listening to one, they're not always listening to that one song. And the only way you get it to be that one song, but then you'll never be as big as Taylor Swift, because I was about to say the only way it's that one song is like if I say Sir Mix-a-Lot, everybody's thinking about Baby Got Back.
Oh yeah.
That's the song. So you have to be a one-hit wonder, but if you're a one-hit wonder, there is no way you're big enough worldwide that your song is always
I
playing.
don't
So I
know
was
if
like,
that's true. I don't know if that's true
okay.
because every time that I go to the grocery store
Mhm.
or turn on a random radio station,
Right.
I hear the same top 20 from 1995.
Yeah.
They've been playing on the radio constantly and in grocery stores because 'cause they're safe music.
Right.
If this ended
It's
up
just
being one of those
one of the
songs
safe
that
music
you play in
songs.
elevators or on
Yeah,
hold
I
music
guess.
or something, like, if you if
Oh,
it
you
w
get on the hold
if
music,
you
you
gave it
might
a
gotta get
free
shot.
license, if you did this released it as a free, license where you didn't have to pay anything,
Mhm.
then yeah, everybody's gonna play that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I was thinking from like a famous, but yeah, I guess if you got it, like I said, if you got it playing where it's playing in elevators and stores
Yeah.
and hold music, like, yeah, I guess I could see that. That could do
I mean, it is an
it.
odd song.
Yeah.
It doesn't really feel like it has that kind of, like, commercial oomph,
Mhm.
as, like, background music in a casino or something. But if you could get one of those songs, it could happen, and you
Yeah.
wouldn't have to be, like, a big
You wouldn't have to
you
be a
didn't have to
huge
be
star.
the biggest star of all time, you
Yeah.
just have to have a song that's can be played in a space like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. All right. I guess there is a way to have it done because I was just like, I don't know, man. I don't know if like she's saying her mom's song is always playing, and that's what protects her when she's in the normal world. Obviously not on the witching road
Yeah.
because stuff. I was like, I don't know if that legitly works out. But
Mm.
anyways,
I hated the bat curse thing. It
the
looks stupid.
the what?
The bat curse,
The bat? Oh,
the
that the
curse, like,
curse
took the form of,
manifests
like,
as
a weird
yeah.
kinda bat vampire
Yeah.
hybrid thing, I didn't like it.
I was like, "It's a curse."
Yeah,
Like, a curse can just be a curse. It doesn't need a physical manifestation.
yeah.
That was dumb. like, so they before they came in this house though, and we saw it through the curse playing out, and then also ultimately when it dies, that I forget it's was it waning moon, I think it was when they came up to the door and they said that represents fire. And so like obviously like I said they were getting burnt, and then also the curse burns out ultimately when they finish the song.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that Agatha was the lead singer, and I'm like, you just gotta take center stage, don't you,
Yeah, and she
Agatha?
did alright,
She
but
did
it
all
wasn't
right,
perfect,
but I
but I
just
mean,
was like, this is Alice's
yeah, why wouldn't
specialty
that well, she
and
was
Alice's
singing too.
curse. She
She
was
was
singing on the
yeah,
chorus, but I'm just like, why is Agatha the lead here? I'm
because
just
Agatha doesn't know how to play piano, but I don't know. Yeah, you're
did you
right. No, Alice should have been the lead singer,
mhm.
yeah.
Also, I'm just throwing this out there. We're assigning instruments. You get the black chick, the bass. I was like, come on, really? That's where we
With
going?
those nails?
We just assuming she gonna play bass.
Not with those nails. No way, no way. They would all the nails should have just fallen off at the end of the song, just be like, they're not hanging in there for
Yep,
that.
yep,
Yeah, so, the teen falls
yep.
at
Teen Falls.
the end of the song, and I don't understand what is the motivation for why Agatha really cares so
Well,
much.
that's what I think is weird. Like I thought that was weird, but also tying back into Rio and Agatha, they have a so everyone starts comparing scars. I wrote down, and luckily Lilia did bring it up. I wrote down everyone like they're having a bonding moment. Everybody but Agatha because he's watching the teen.
Mhm.
But everyone and stuff, and everyone's just like chilling with Rio. And I was like, hey, we all just gonna forget about that whole "She wants our bodies" in
Yeah.
the engineer booth. And I really like when Lilia when Rio gets up to follow Agatha. Lilia was like, hey, don't think I forgot about what you said in that movie. Like, thank you. Someone bring it up because that's definitely a sticking point in my mind if I'm part of this covenant. It's like, you guys remember she did say she wants our bodies or something, right? Everybody remembers that. But anyways, like I said, in the while they're talking about scars, Rio brings up her scar, which is Agatha is basically what he says.
Yeah.
Is basically she fell in love with somebody, and this is why I think she answers to somebody, maybe Mephisto, and but she was tasked to do her job, and her job made her hurt this person, and that's her scar, which is very wild
Mm.
because I thought Agatha. It seemed like Rio was the one who hurt Agatha, but
Well,
in the
maybe they hurt
beginning,
each
yeah,
other.
maybe they hurt each other
Yeah.
because in the beginning, and Rio very much seems. I put down this is one of those.
There's a question in, like, the first episode when they first meet up,
Yeah,
and she's like, "Do you remember why you hate me?"
yeah.
Yeah.
I put down this is definitely one of those love to hate to love you relationships because I'm like you two babe are very antagonistic, but also very much seem to want to be together in some weird sense. But anyways, Agatha, after hearing that, walks away, and Rio and her have an intimate moment in the woods. But right before they can kiss, Rio says, "That kid's not yours, Agatha." So my theory is why Agatha cares is that she, in her mind, believes that that's her son. She believes that the teen is her son, and that's why she cares about him. Is she gave him up
Yeah.
once,
Yeah.
but now that he's back, but also I feel like because of this, and I think Rio's dropping it, I do believe it leads into which I don't want him to be because I just feel like it's too ham-fisted. I think it's that Rio's right, and it's going to turn out that the teen isn't her. I don't know what he is going to be.
Well, his name spoiler time,
Well,
his name is Joe Locke,
how'd we
and in
get
the
his name? How'd you get his
well,
name?
because people online, people
Oh,
talking about it,
yeah, yeah, it's been
they just
official.
know,
Okay, all right,
it's
all
been
right.
leaked,
Yeah, yeah.
you
I've heard
know,
Joe Locke before. I don't
but
remember
Joe
what.
Locke is the son of the Scarlet Witch. So it's Wanda's
Oh,
son.
Wanda's
But
son.
we like, where does he come
How? Where
from?
the
What's going
hell?
on with that? I mean, I assume that we're gonna get that story of
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened.
I mean, obviously have to. Um, interesting,
And also, where's the
interesting.
brother? Where's the Speedy brother?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I mean, if he's I mean, that could just maybe the team will be sticking around because I mean, there's who knows what the bigger MCU plan is these days, but if they're still sticking with it, there is supposed to be a Young Avengers. Maybe he ends up joining the Young
Yeah, I hope
Avengers
so.
too.
That would be
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
That'd be really good.
It's interesting.
Speaking of which, I'm so excited about Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
Oh, it looks
yeah.
so good.
Thunderbolts looks good.
Yeah, it looks like it might revitalize. I mean,
That
say that every
yeah,
time, but we'll see.
yeah.
It just seems like it's gonna be fun.
It's
Yeah,
yeah, it looks fun and it looks just like a
yeah,
good engaging. And also just getting I mean, no offense to Iron Man and Captain America and all the big names that we've had, but getting away from them for a little bit.
yeah,
Just dealing with some like I said, just some I mean, I think one of the MCU was doing grand anyways at this time, but I think one of the things that really kept the MCU hot was when the Guardians of the Galaxy came out, which was another
Yeah.
time where when they came out, I mean, now they're big names, but when they came out, nobody, except for your diehard comic fans, knew who the Guardians of the
I
Galaxy
mean, nobody
were.
really cared about the Avengers, or
But
maybe Iron Man,
The
but, like
Avengers were established, though. I mean,
yeah.
they looked at it just like DC. You think Justice League, and you think of the big, Superman. I mean, even if you weren't a huge fan, oh, Iron Man, Captain America, at least Thor and Hulk, maybe not as much, and definitely not Black Widow and freaking Hawkeye. No
Yeah.
offense to them, you're not superheroes, okay? uh,
I would like to mention in the show, we'll go back to the show.
yeah,
It has a really good score. It has really good just overall music,
yeah,
aside from, say, the Witches Road song and,
yeah,
the
yeah.
rock song that they played in this episode. But other than
Mm-hmm.
that, just like the background music and kind of the flow of emotion and stuff like that is really good. I
Yeah.
experienced that especially during like the Rio and Agatha, conversation at the end where they almost kiss
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. Yeah.
Man, I really, I mean, and I'm assuming we're gonna get it. I really want to know what happened there because, like I said, one is I want to know who the hell Rio is because there's something more to her,
Oh yeah.
obviously, no matter what and stuff. But also, like, I want to know like their backstory of Rio betraying her and maybe Agatha betraying her back or what? Because I'm just like, what
I mean,
happened?
look, this is a short show.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of mystery to work out, like,
Mm-hmm.
why is the candle lady, why is she, like, blocked?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is the clairvoyant lady, why is she so poor when she could
Mm-hmm.
probably guess the numbers for the lottery?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of
There's a lot of interesting
yeah.
stuff going on here. I like I
This is a
said,
good show.
yeah.
I'm enjoying the show a lot
I
more than I thought I would.
yeah.
I had heard previous that it was gonna be really bad,
Yeah,
and this is
and
not
the
really
trailer
bad.
did not give me any hope either. I was
Yeah,
like, I don't feel this, man." But no, this has been a surprise for me because 'cause I'm like, "No, this is enjoyable. This
yeah,
is" and the intrigue's there that's keeping me like, I wanna know about these." Like, they've made me interested in these characters.
yeah,
I mean, the only one we knew going into this was Agatha, and no offense to Agatha, I mean, I am interested in her, but like all the other witches, I'm more intrigued by like what's going on with these guys,
yeah,
sort of thing. Where like yeah, and the teen and stuff. Like I do want to know what's going on with Agatha. I'm just saying that she's overshadowed by the rest of the cast,
yeah.
in my opinion.
And again, I understand that there's, like, a lesbian, like, relationship between the 2 characters, between
Hmm.
Agatha and Rio, but
Which was
when this
just
show before
established
this
now.
yeah, when this show, like, first episode came out, the whole internet was like, "This is the gayest show of all time." I'm like, "This is not the L word,
The
okay?"
teen,
Like
he was gay.
yeah, but
That and
there's not
literally,
like a
he just
gay sex
mentioned
scene
I know,
every episode
and
or
he just
something, like
mentioned it like, the most we've got from him is he mentioned his boyfriend in the first episode. He
yeah.
hasn't talked
The
about him
boyfriend just
since.
tries to call and he ignores the
Yeah.
call. Like, I'm like, "This is"
Gay!
I
Gay!
don't I just don't
I
understand where
don't
all
get it
that was
either.
coming from.
It's just dumb.
So weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wait. Hold up. You said that the teen is who?
Joe Locke.
Okay, well, that is true, but that's not Wanda's son. Joe Locke is literally the guy who plays him
Oh,
name.
maybe I got that
Yeah, I was like, I just was looking it up again, and I'm just like, yeah, Joe Locke is the teen,
Okay,
but
well, scratch
yeah.
that. Look, Joe Locke sounds like a comic book
No, it
character
does.
name,
No, when I
okay?
first saw, I actually had to click on his page because I was like, is this really the dude? And yeah, no, his name is Joe Locke. So I mean, I guess that's what happens. Sometimes you get named where you sound like you could be a comic book character.
Alright, well, I don't know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'll end with this.
All right.
MCU,
Mm-hmm.
you set a precedent. You must give me after credit scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I sit there and I click through
Yep.
to the end to
I
see if
do
there's one
too.
because I don't because you could
Because
shadow
they
one in.
also that's
Sometimes
another
like, yeah.
I was gonna say is they've on other shows they have done that, which that's even worse because like I said, you're watching a few shows. I think it was when we did what's his name Moon Knight.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure it was Moon Knight. I had gotten to the thing they don't do after credit scenes, and so I just stopped watching them.
And then they did
And then
one.
you literally are like, yeah, but then the after credit scene, we were talking on the episode, and you're like, in that after credit scene, I was like, what after
They
credit
did that with
scene?
Loki too.
And I'm just like, yeah, you can't. You're either in or you're out.
Yeah.
And one is we expect you to be in. We expect you to be doing after credit scenes. You can't not.
The only one I accepted was Endgame. I
Oh
was like,
yeah,
"You don't do an after credit scene on Endgame.
yeah.
It's the
What
period at the end
what
of
the
the
hell
the
would you
long
put in
book,
an after
right?"
credit scene for Endgame? I don't
Yeah,
even know what you could do.
exactly. But no, every movie and show has to have an after credit scene every
Yeah.
episode.
And if you don't want it to be some big, story driven advocacy, just give me something, just give me,
Yeah, it doesn't
go
have to
go
be
back to the
important.
witches sitting around the
Yeah,
campfires trading scar stories again, and we
yeah,
could because I would love to hear about that the finishing of that vampire story from Lilia, where
yeah.
she was like, we started out hating each other, but then I'm like, but then what? What? You became lovers, best friends, business partners? Is he the reason why you're poor? What? We'll never find out.
Hey, if you like the show, visit our website, watchingitpod.com. There you can find links to our social media and to email us, watchingitpodcast@gmail.com. Also, you can find ways to support the show on Patreon. And another thing I can't remember the name of.
Spotify. Just do Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah,
Okay,
Spotify
fair enough. Fair
subscriptions.
enough. Yeah, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Donnell, what else should they do?
Well, let's see here. Agatha is chugging along great, actually. Like I said, I'm enjoying this show more than I thought I would. But we're gonna be wrapping this up soon, and I think we're did we decide we're gonna cover season two of Silo?
We are going to
We're
cover
covering
season
season
2 of
two of
Silo. That's
Silo.
going to be a weird one for me to cover
Yeah,
because I've read the book.
yeah. Uh,
So that
mhm.
might be super spoilery.
If it, I mean,
And
that's
it's gonna suck because it's supposed to be a mystery show, and I'm
yeah.
gonna spoil the hell out of it because there's no way I can't. Maybe I'll just talk about differences between the book
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
show,
yeah.
if
Or we
there are
could
any, because
always
there were differences in the season 1.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. I need to read the book because I do wanna know what I don't want see, unlike you, I can't read ahead if I'm watching the show, but now that the season 1's done, I'm like, "I should go grab the first book and see where that lines up." But anyways, yeah, get ready for that. Maybe we'll do a, recap episode of, season 1 before that comes out. And yeah, we're gonna be doing that, so get ready for that, and we're gonna take ourselves a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about what we've been watching. Alright, Robert. The only thing I know with Fix It is Fix It Felix, which is the only reason I know that is my friends have kids, and I'm like, "You watching kids shows? What's going
No,
on?"
no, 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 no. Fix It is the name of the fictional company that you work for in Satisfactory.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay,
Super
okay,
fun game, just finished it up this week
nice.
with the help of my friends.
Okay, I was about to say your solo run or your one with
I
friends.
did start a solo run because sometimes there'd be an update and the server would be down in the morning,
Mhm.
and so I started doing a solo run. I've abandoned the solo run because 'cause I'm like, "It's just too much."
Yeah,
I just did all
yeah.
that work on the multiplayer, and I'm just like, "I just need to take a break for
Yeah.
a while."
I feel like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
when you
I
first told me you're doing a solo run already, I was like,
I just tooling around, just messing around, but then once I kinda got to, like, the point where it's like, "Okay, I've got the train system
Mhm.
like, unlocked, so I can really start building, like, across the map and build this big, thing, and I'm just like, "Ugh, I don't wanna do it right now." But yeah, I think it was a collective 1,000 hours between 4 people.
4 people. So
Yeah.
so when you say you guys beat, like, what happens at the
I don't wanna give
spoilers.
spoilers on it,
Okay,
man,
fine, fine.
but it basically, you're constructing a space station.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
sending stuff up through a space elevator to construct an object in the sky,
Okay.
and then something happens with that object in the end. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
It's very
I
complicated. A
still
lot of
remember
math.
still remember you showing me your factory for making plastics that actually turned out to be a factory for making fuel because the stuff that was left over from the plastic was used to fuel your trains,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm just like, "You
Yeah, it really gets crazy when you
this
get,
is"
like, kinda, like, just mid to late game, not quite
Mhm.
late game. Well, in late game, it gets really bad, but once you get, like, into the mid game, the factories start, like, not just producing the thing that you want.
Yeah.
It starts producing additional stuff that you don't necessarily want or you need for something else, and you gotta start getting ratios right because, like, if you don't use it up, then it all just shuts down
Yeah.
and whatnot. I built yeah. It was, it's a lot of game.
Mhm.
It was very interesting kinda how
Hard.
we all the 4 of us, like, divvied it up because there's this, like, a legit first person shooter exploration
Yeah.
thing going on because there's all these like things on the map you need to go collect if you want to really get things done and unlock certain recipes and stuff. And there's like, yeah, there's a lot of fighting you got to do.
Mm.
And the fighting, and you got like this jetpack that you're like kind of like bouncing around
Yeah.
and like trying to dodge these like spider monsters, which are super scary. There's actually a setting to turn them off.
Yeah.
Like, turn off
Yeah.
them being scary, they just get replaced with, like, cat images,
Mhm.
like, but really stupid ones.
No, I've seen a few games actually that have spiders in it because
Yep,
I mean there's a legitimate I forget
yep.
what it's called agoraphobia? I can't remember what it is, but where it's fear of spiders and like yeah, I've seen a few games that have that setting. It's like oh you got that we'll turn that off so
Yeah.
you can still enjoy our game.
But my job was kinda like main, I was kinda me and Adonis were playing together.
Yep,
Adonis
yep,
from the show, if you've back listened, she's been
yep,
in
yep.
an episode of Talking It. Uh, we kinda did a lot of the exploring. I built all the power, and then, her husband, like, he did a lot of the, like, build the actual factories that make the
Mm.
things and whatnot. So it was and then once I was doing my solo game, I'm like, "Crap, I'm gonna have to do all the things
Yeah.
that are like" yeah.
I mean, I will say Satisfactory always I mean, from the moment I saw always seemed like a gamer. It's like, "No, this is you're bringing a team of people with you." Like, you because
It's
like you said, you're
hard
gonna
though,
need to
it's hard
divvy
though,
up.
because we got lots of arguments
Oh, I
about,
can
like, "This
imagine.
is how I wanna build the thing, and this is
Well,
how we
and
just
this
strategize because you
yeah,
gotta move it's a big map, and you gotta move all these supplies around on the train." It's like, "Okay, well,"
yeah,
it's like, who's gonna are we gonna have a bunch of little stations or really big
yeah.
stations?" And, like, getting the logistics to meet up
Well, I was
and
gonna say
come to a consensus
this
was a
is
lot.
no way sign of saying support that I'm all about the corporate way of life, but this is partly why sometimes you have managers because like you said, when
Yeah,
there's the four of you and you're all as equals, like you said, there's a lot of argument because you think it should be built this way, they think, and that's where the manager sometimes say, "Hey, this is what we're doing,"
yeah.
and then everyone can hate him. So like that's why there is managers, but also like sometimes managers also suck a
Hey,
lot of
you say
times.
that, but I mean, like, we had a big conflict about the train system,
Yeah.
and, like, we started doing it one way, and then I decided that we should do it another way, and
Yeah.
anyway, it caused a lot of friction,
Mhm.
but because of that friction, I was like, "Okay, there's gotta be a way to make both of these things work,"
True,
and so
true.
I had to create this gigantic hub where it basically all the trains were created in my system came there and then transferred it to a completely different system,
Mm,
and it was really cool, and it was a lot of fun to build, and
yeah,
just this massive, like, crazy thing. The scale of the game is so insane,
yeah,
like, how big the objects are, and, like,
yeah.
you like, "Oh, I'm gonna build this little thing." And it's like, "No, you really need it to be, like, the size of the Chrysler Building or something." Like, there's no such thing as small.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, but yeah, an amazing game.
Nice, nice.
Fantastic, yeah. I've also, been watching a YouTube channel,
Mm,
odd for me,
m'kay.
called, Fammy or Famicon.
Okay, okay,
It is spelled F4MI.
okay.
We actually watched a little bit of a video. Is the one where it's talking about the, Blu-ray HD DVD,
Oh, yeah, that
war.
video is I need to
It
finish
was a really
watching
good
that.
video, and
I
I
wanna
went and
finish
started
watching
watching
that.
more of her stuff, and it is all fantastic. And she just
Nice.
does really deep dives into odd tech things. So there's an entire episode. So I guess on the Wii
Mhm.
gaming system, you could have like channels that were created, and there was one called the Homebrew channel,
Okay.
and it
Yeah,
had
yep.
really like addictive music. So she did a
Okay.
whole, like, 30-minute episode about trying to track down who made the music for that and gave the entire history of the hacking of the Wii
Okay.
and the creation of the Homebrew channel, which was basically a hack channel
Yep,
that they
yep,
hacked into the Wii
yep. I know about
through,
that
like,
part.
weird things, like and it was, the only reason that they figured out how to make it work and hack all these games to be able to play them is by writing code into the naming of the horse of the Zelda Wii game. Fascinating stuff,
Yeah.
and she's super knowledgeable, and she just presents it all very well. Yeah, Fammy, F4MI, great channel if you're into kinda weird, obscure, techie stuff.
Okay,
Yeah, and, like,
okay.
seeing, like, little documentaries about it.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
and I don't know, just you gotta go watch it, but just the way that she tells the story, she does it in super fun ways and has, you know, good editing skills, or somebody behind her has good editing skills.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
super good.
A lot more YouTube channels. I mean, this is just a observation. I mean, a lot more YouTube channels are, which I mean, it's cool. So it will include or shout out their editors a lot more these days, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's good. It's getting them out there so they can, I mean, they got it. That's their job. They want to make
I'm
money
sure
too.
the editors
And
require
so,
it. They're like,
yeah,
I need to
yeah,
be able to put that on my IMDb or whatever, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Another great YouTube channel worth checking out is Animagraphs. I've
Yes,
shown that to you. That
yes.
one's a lot. It is like
Animagraphs
so this is a guy
is.
who will take an object like a steam engine
Mm-hmm.
or an
Mm-hmm.
old, like, sailing ship or something, and, I mean, he will do, like,
It is
hours
fantastic though.
on how this thing works, and I mean everything.
Yeah,
Every
they
cable,
break
every
down.
button, everything. Like, if you wanna know how a steam engine works from top to bottom, like, go watch this, and he just
Yes.
yeah, amazing, like,
And so
3D
what yeah, let's say the
animations.
models and the way that they work, like, whether it's him or once again an editor, like, whoever is doing that, like,
Yeah,
they're going out of their way, just it's insane.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's good stuff. I like that one.
Hmm. Other than that, I'm season 9 of a Supernatural watch through.
Nice,
It's going
nice.
going really fast because 'cause I'm following this guide. I don't know if I agree with the guide. There's a couple of episodes where they're like, "You can skip this," and I'm like, "Nah, this is kind of a classic you need to watch." It's not important to the main story, but it's kinda,
The fact
some
that there's guides, that multiple guides for
well, I mean,
watching
for
Supernatural.
any big show, like I mean,
Yeah.
there's one for, X-Files
Yep,
that's like,
yep.
"Hey, if you just wanna watch and see the main storyline and not all the filler stuff,
Mhm.
here's the episodes that you watch, and here's the ones that you skip." Um, I mean, yeah, there's 15 seasons of this show. It's like there's a lot of skippable
There
content for
yeah.
sure,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
100%.
Yeah, yeah. Still watching The Penguin, which is
Okay.
good. See where that goes.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, kinda just waiting for things. Things are starting to build up,
They're
we got the Old
starting.
Man going, got
Mhm.
Silo coming,
Yep,
got, The Diplomat coming,
yep.
just yeah, a lot of stuff on the
A
horizon, but
lot of stuff is coming, and
yeah.
it's exciting. It's very exciting 'cause it has been kind of very meh for a minute now, and so it's nice where it's like, "Here we go."
Did you ever get around to checking out, the Rick and Morty anime?
No, I keep
It
meaning
hasn't
to.
finished yet, but it is really good.
Okay. I saw this actual, review on YouTube, and I didn't watch it, but he was saying the complete opposite, like, "Why does this even exist?" and stuff, so I'm like, I'm
That's
interested."
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's a little different, but it is I mean, I asked that question when we talked about it a few weeks ago. It's like, "Why
Mhm.
does this exist? Why is it different? Why isn't it just like stories that" it fits so well in the prime Rick and Morty show that I'm
Yes.
like, why did it have to be like a different animation style and
Yeah.
done by a different crew and all this stuff? But yeah, I don't know, but it is just really good, and it does fit in very well with
Mm,
the Prime universe,
I gotta
'cause
check
I think
those
it
out.
is, I think it's part of it. I
Yeah,
think it's canon for
yeah.
sure.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So Donnell, tell me about the Mob.
So, yeah, I, watched, or I've watched, One Punch Man.
Okay.
The creator of One Punch Man is, known for actually 2 properties. He has One Punch Man, and he also has a show called Mob 100.
I
Uh,
think I've heard of this, but I don't think
yeah.
I've seen it.
So, one is if you've ever seen and it's just one of those things that it just shows that if you have the right characters and the right appeal that you can go far even if you don't have
Is
the
this
artistic
Mob
skill.
Psycho 100 or just
Yeah, sorry,
Mob?
Mob Psycho
Okay,
100,
okay.
yeah. Because if you actually look at because the guy who made both these properties is a webcomic artist, and he even says it himself, he is a bad artist. And if you see the actual web comics that these 2 shows
Mhm,
come
mhm.
from, you're like, "Damn."
Oh, this is the exact same art
Yes.
style as One
Um
Punch Man.
he also his big thing is I definitely feel like this guy Mob Psycho 100 is a little bit I'd say a little bit more reined in than One Punch Man in this, but he has a for sure a power fantasy thing
He
that
likes
he
making
enjoys
overpowered characters,
because
yeah.
the character in this his name is Mob or he has I can't remember what his thing is Sinsky or whatever, but everyone calls him Mob. It's for some I can't remember in Japan I read about it like in Japanese Mob made something else in here. But anyways, everyone calls him Mob and he is a psychic and just like freaking One Punch Man, he's like easily so far well, they did just introduce a character who might be his equal or stronger than him, but up until this moment, he is just easily even though he doesn't practice, he doesn't do anything, and there's people out there who have been working all their life to be psychics, like, he just smacks down everybody. His power is just through the
Yeah,
roof.
it's got, like, an 8.6
Um,
rating. I have to check this out.
it's pretty fun. I will say it's definitely how do I wanna say this? It's definitely like, it's not like but you would say the same about One Punch Man. It's not like the most engrossing anime, like, I started watching it because I wanted something and it looked like it would be this.
You
I
coulda come to me,
I
Donnell,
I
if
wanted
you needed an
something
anime.
but I wanted something that was easy digestible and easy to just have in the background,
I
in a
got a ton
sense.
of them.
Yeah. Well, I'll come to you next
You will
time.
not take my throne. I am the anime guy,
Oh, no, you're
Donnell.
100%. I've watched a anime, Robert, okay? I have not put in 20 animes in a week. But no, it's a lot of fun, and definitely if you like One Punch Man, it's definitely in the same vein. But I guess, I will say he does I mean, One Punch Man does at times too, but he definitely tries to, get a little bit more, heartfelt, I guess I would say, in Mob,
I mean, that's
100.
all up in One Punch Man
But,
for sure, with,
yeah.
the bicycle guy and stuff like
Yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah, true, true. Forgot about Bicycle Guy. But yeah, so I watched that, a lot of fun. And then I want to shout out a YouTube channel, just one that I've been watching for a while, and so I think if you are like me, if you're a fan of Dark Souls games or Soulsborne,
Mhm.
as people say, so really check out Iron Pineapple. He's a big fan of the all the From Sauce games. He does videos on all of them and stuff. But what I actually like of his the most, and I thought when he started this series, it seemed like it was like a one time thing, and then it seemed like it was a couple episodes, but now it seems like it's here to stay, which I'm glad for. Is he plays he calls it or it's Steam dumpster diving is what he calls it,
Mm.
but it's where he goes and he finds games that may or may not, mostly loosely in the Soulsborne universe, because that's what he specializes in, but may or may not get any traction. And he
Oh,
plays
okay.
them. And sometimes they're really far fetched indie games that are just terrible, but he still, plays them. Sometimes they're student. Like yeah, there's a lot of stuff on Steam actually that comes from like game jams or from like universities where the
Yeah.
people who are making game like learning how to make games and they still release their game. Usually they're free, but still they still release their games and stuff. So a lot of that. A lot of indie things. He does cover bigger ones that are coming out also, but not as much and stuff. And he plays them and then he gives his honest opinion. Like he gives his breakdown of what he liked, what he didn't like. He's not a game designer, but he still tries to like point out if he sees some things like, this was good, but maybe you could try doing this, or maybe you
I
could
mean, you
do
play
that.
enough, like, indie games
Yeah.
that are all, like, trying to push the
Hmm.
limits, and you learn what works and what
Yeah.
doesn't work, and you like, okay, playing a game
And
like, "Hey, if you had done these things, this would have been better." Yeah.
I've definitely picked up a few games that he's played, because like I said, I do like Soulsborne games, and so when he's like, "This is a good one," I'm like, "This one does look good." But also, I just really like the fact that he takes his time and he's not just like, "Oh," like there's lots of people who play garbage games,
Yeah.
and then it's just to make fun of them. And sometimes he will play a game that's clearly like it's meant to be a joke game, but he still, even in those cases, he still gives like his honest opinion, like, "Hey, this was good. This didn't really work for me," or even like he's had plenty of games where he'll be like, "This is a good game. It's not my kinda game, like, I'm not gonna play it, but I can see, like, where this game is good and what makes it strong and why people would wanna play this." And so even when it's a game that he himself is like, "Oh, I'm not playing this anymore," he's like, "I'm not saying this is bad." Like he says, "When a game is good, it's good, whether it's his type of game or not." And so, yeah, I just like that. It's just genuine taking, and I feel like the feedback he gives, especially for the indie developers and the game jam ones and the ones for the that come from universities, like, if those people ever see that, like, it's good. It's like I feel like they would want that kinda stuff. You want that. You want
Yeah.
that feedback.
Feedback, yeah.
You want the positive stuff, but you also want, like, maybe we should tweak this. And so, yeah, it's just nice. I really enjoy his stuff. It's been, like I said, he's been doing it for years now. At first, like I said, the first episode really was like, "Yeah, I'm just doing this as fun," but now it seems like it's kind of a mainstay of his channel. He just gathers up some games and plays them. It's nice. That's what
Well,
I've
that's
been
the end of
watching.
the show. Like Donnell said, we'll be back next week to cover more Agatha all along, and,
Mhm.
we got Silo coming up here in a
Mhm.
few weeks. 100% you should go watch season 1 if you have
Oh.
not already.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic
I
show. Super excited for season 2, and I think we'll get a season 3
yeah.
as well.
I
And that'll be
watched,
it. That'll be done.
yeah, I watched, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, pretty regularly, and he makes his jokes. I can't remember what the joke was. He was talking about something, but he's like, he was comparing something. He's like, "It's like Apple TV, making shows that nobody hears about." And I'm like, "It's kind of true, but people really should hear
Yeah, because
about
all
Apple
the best
shows
stuff is on
because they
Apple.
have some like I don't know.
I hate it, but
Maybe
they're
it's
making all the
because of
good
that,
stuff.
they want that exclusivity even tied to their streaming platform, I don't know, but I'm just like, Apple really I'm not a like I said, I'm not a fan of Apple and stuff, but I will admit that they make some great shows, and I'm just like, "Why are you not pushing this more? Why are you not
They've got
pushing your
all the money
shows
in the
more?"
world, and somebody in charge just wants shows made.
Maybe
Like,
that's it.
they don't care if they're losing money
I
or
guess,
something,
because, like,
because
they
there's
should
no way that C made its money back.
Oh, yeah, no
Yeah, I
way.
love the show,
No way.
but it's nobody watched it,
Mhm.
like,
Nobody, and
and
those
they made, like,
sets
3 or
and
4
where they were
seasons of
the
that,
how many
yeah.
seasons and where they had to film
How
and
many
Jason
extras?
Momoa for
Yeah.
crying out loud.
Giant battles,
Like, that's yeah, you that had to be yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's just like the head of Apple, is that what is it? Is
Tim
it
Cook?
Tim Cook? Yeah,
Yeah.
Tim Cook. Maybe Tim Cook is just like sitting there like, "I would really like a show made like this," or I really enjoyed the Moth series. That's what Silo's based off, right? The Moth series?
Wool.
Wool. Sorry.
Yeah.
Really like the Wool series. Someone should make a show out of that. And they're like, "Someone should." And he's like, "No, I wasn't saying that like as a suggestion.
Yeah.
Someone should make a
But it's
show
not
out of
just, like, it's high quality
Yeah.
and it's weird, but it's also, like, I mean, it's all risky stuff. Severance,
Mhm. Severance.
there,
Yep, yep.
Silo, I mean, these are
Silo.
weird
Just
they're making weird stuff
yeah.
and
Freaking C.
high quality.
High quality, just great stuff.
Yeah.
I hate that I'm touting up Apple so much, but it's good
Please
freaking
sponsor
stuff.
us.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to, Watchin It podcast will sing your praises, and it won't be a fake because we love. I hate it though, but we love a lot of stuff that's
Yeah,
on
that's
there.
right.
The Tetris movie.
Look, there, like you said, it's just like when we see the A24 logo, we're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Let's actually watch this trailer. You see Apple TV
Yep.
show up in that at the beginning of that trailer. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, you have my attention now.
There's been plenty of times we start up a trailer and I'm like, I don't know, this seems kind of dumb. And then the Apple logo pops up. Well, maybe.
I was like, oh, yeah. You read the dumbest synopsis, and then you're like, you see Apple from Apple TV, and you're like, okay,
You're like, well,
check
let's
it
see,
out.
let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So please check out Silo because we're going to be talking about it, and it's definitely worth your watch. And then, as always, give us any ratings, reviews, 5 stars, and thanks so much for listening. Bye.